Chris himself sent this to me this morning. You know, and I didn't watch all of it. I watched like 15 seconds of it, and it's just so ridiculous, man. It's so ridiculous. So let's get into this ridiculousness.
Across multiple platforms, including
oh wait,
popular app TikTok via harassment. The issue spreading
how do I?
Across
There we go.
To how to deal with social media harassment. The issue spreading across multiple platforms, including the popular app TikTok. It's a story we first saw in the New York Times, and Kaylee Hartung joins us.
Just so you guys know, I talked to the author of that article. Very nice conversation. You know, just letting you guys know. Listen, I know this is not relevant, but that's, you know, that for me, that was like, wow, cool, man. Like, I'm making it.
Now to how to deal with social media harassment. The issue spreading across multiple platforms, including the popular app TikTok. It's a story we first saw in the New York Times, and Kaylee Hartung joins us with the new big question people are asking: are influencers responsible for their followers' behavior? It's a big debate.
I mean, no, man, I don't think so. I think that's like I mean, it's obviously a baity question. I mean, they're asking the question and like, I mean, maybe she'll give an answer. But, like, it depends on what the content is. You know, if you're, like, actively calling for harm or violence onto somebody, of course you're responsible for that. But, like, if you're making an innocuous joke, no. And, like, we have to keep in mind that this guy's 17 years old. And he, again, like, I just feel like I need to keep saying this for context. Before any threat of punishment happened, and in a position where nobody thought he would have ever had any punishment against him, he was like, yeah, I'll stop making the content because, like, I understand what you guys are saying about, like, it being negative. But this article's not going to cover that. To the New York Times article's credit, they did actually put that in their article.
Hey, Kaylee, good morning.
It is. Good morning, Whit. You know, some of these TikTok influencers have massive followings. We are talking.
Some of these TikTok influencers have can I do her job? Have massive followings.
Talking about millions of fans who want to join in the conversation that's created in the comment section of each post. But when those conversations turn ugly, it's a new form of bullying online.
You don't think that's a little exaggeratory, ma'am? You don't think that the idea of, like, negative, like, just any type of negative attention, labeling that, like, bullying, you don't think that that's, like, a little disingenuous? Like, I mean, listen, TikTok is designed for people to kind of get outside of their comfortable zones. I give TikTok a lot of crap, but, like, what they do that's different from every other platform is they have a platform that is designed around, like other people seeing your content, instead of just, like, putting it into one zone. And it's, like, designed to, like, encourage conversations. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've done so well on the app. And, like, absolutely, like, there are times where, like, it gets too extreme. And some of Chris's content has rallied some people to do that, though I'd say most people don't do that. But, I mean, like, come on. Like, we're being so exaggeratory to, like, force this idea. It's just very uncomfortable.
TikTok's known
Oh, that was Will Smith!
Singing and dancing.
And that's Will Smith's cousin from the movie, from the show, Will Smith's cousin. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that's what I meant to say. Bro, this is what, like, I don't mean to be like that guy. This is a trigger to me. Because, like, right now they're showing, like, the cool part of TikTok. It's like, look at the famous cool part. It's Will Smith. It's Carlton. I forget his name. Somebody tell me it because I feel bad because, like, he's more than just that character. Here's Sky Jackson, who weaponizes her follower base to dox people. Oh, yeah, so fun, so free, uncomfortable, and so comfortable. And, like, to me, this shows, like, hypocrisy. Like, you guys are so comfortable calling out Chris who is substantially less popular than Sky Jackson. But you guys are so comfortable calling her out, like, not calling out Chris, somebody who has substantially less followers, for making faces that some people weaponized, who misassigned the message to it, which was really just like, oh my goodness, I'm shocked. And they use that to harass people. But, like, when it comes to Sky Jackson, you guys are totally fine. It's like, yeah, she called people out that were, like, 13, but you know what? Who cares? He said the N-word one time in a post a year ago, so his whole life should be ruined, and he's 13. That's okay. We don't care about education. Come on. See, like, this is the thing. This is the thing that really is bothersome, because, like, the news articles in general, they're not trying to propose an idea that they believe in. They're like, okay, this is safe. It's safe to kind of go after this guy, So, like, let's jump on the bandwagon, because it's okay. Like, we're not going to hit any backlash. But if we spoke out against Sky Jackson and said, hey, listen, like, I understand, like, your frustrations with particular situations, but canceling somebody doesn't lead to a united society. Instead, you should focus on educating them because that's your platform. No, they're giving this young girl, I don't even know how old she is, like they're giving her all this energy. Like, yeah, what you're doing is right. You're losing people, hurting people's lives. Like, come on. Pathetic.
But this morning,
he couldn't even talk about it. Why would you use Sky Jackson?
controversy
Can you do a naturally glowy makeup look?
is trending on the popular app. LGBT
Bro, this guy is... I don't know if this is a man or a trans woman. It's not bad looking, though. I would. I'm just saying. Oh, unless they're underage. Like, I don't want to get into that field. But, not bad looking.
LGBTQ users.
It's a funny joke. You look at it, and it's just like, oh my god. Like, it's shocking. And it's like, that's what he's expressing.
They're experiencing a wave of bullying against them after Chris, who goes by Don Elledge,
Not bad, man.
singled them out in a duet.
I was getting touched.
This idea of singling somebody out in a duet, the language is very suggestive that, like, he's being predatory, when that's the point of TikTok, is to make duets. You're not singling people out, per se, you're just interacting with their content. And, like, I want to bring it up, even if you don't agree with Donald J, Danelli, whatever, Chris... That wasn't his intention, and again, he said he was going to stop making the content before he was banned. So you guys are very, very clearly like, oh my god, I got some fame. Oh, I'm on Good Morning America, my 15 minutes of fame. Ah, it's just so exciting. Boom, after this you're over. You're riding this high of cancel culture, and now you're going to look for the next person to cancel. And it's gross, man. It's really gross.
Tons of DMs of people, like, calling me slurs, saying that they wanted to kill me.
Yeah, that's awful, and that exists. But again... Like, it's an nth of a percent of his content, and you know it's not all Chris's followers. It happens a lot. Like, there are toxic people on this app. And, like, TikTok isn't going after those people. They're going after larger influencers. I'm just saying, man.
Duet feature allows one user to react to another user's content. Seth and Madeline both say they experienced hatred online when Chris started sharing his reactions to their posts. With his more than 2.5
They're shocking.
million followers.
That one's shocking, man. That's crazy. That one shocked me to the core. When I saw it first, not even with Chris, I was like, oofa.
In the
I mean, good for them.
videos, Chris doesn't speak. The harassment happening in the comments section by his fans.
His comments have been filled with
I think the shock is in the eyes more than the lips, guys. If you really stare at his eyes, they're very intent, like, what's happening.
death threats, negative messages, hateful comments.
Listen, not for nothing, negative messages, everybody gets negative messages. And, like, not to wrap out the entire LGBT community up, but, like, I get negative messages. A lot of people get negative messages. People are like, well, Papa, you make this type of content. Listen, I call everybody out, so, like, it's really not necessarily an excuse. But, like, everybody's shooting negative message at people. Not for nothing. Chris has been called a variety of racial slurs after Heartthrobbert, who that is his handle on TikTok, decided to lie about Chris, calling for some form of violence and, like, yelling at him. And then he called him, like, a twig and some other obscenities. And then all of a sudden, his followers clapped back. Well, his followers went to Chris and started calling him horrible, derogatory terms. Like, give me a break. And not a single person is like, yeah, man, I got some hate, and, like, honestly, like, I get that he's just joking around, but, like, that joke can be harmful. That would have been fine.
And even if he doesn't say anything, he's still allowing.
That guy looks so nervous. You saw that? Hold on, let's go back a little bit. How do you go back? I'm an old man. How do we go back? Look at how I know this guy. I've seen him on TikTok. He's an interesting guy. It's just so silly. He's just like, where was my interview? I'm more popular than I'm more popular than most of these people. I'm not even trying to be that guy, but, like, you know, it's all. I think they might get to Chris at some point. I'm not entirely sure, but, like, it's all LGBT members. There's not a single person who's trying to, like, explain the situation. They didn't have there. Where's the person that was like, hey, like, I don't agree. I think it was just a joke, and maybe there was a level of ignorance to it, and, like, you know, he said he was gonna stop, but, like, people didn't give him the benefit of the doubt. And now they're mass reporting him off the app. He's not IP banned because Chris has made, like, 7 accounts. He's not IP banned, so TikTok hasn't taken the perspective that he doesn't belong on the app. He's getting mass reported over and over again.
Still allowing for his.
What the actual? Oh my god, that's the worst one you showed? It's a shock. It's inappropriate, but come on, guys. You know, some people need to toughen up to an extent. Well, yeah, definitely to an extent.
Huge platform to breed transphobia and homophobia and hate.
You know, no offense, but like this app has just as much like anti-straight white male content to it. I'm not trying to play like I'm a victim, but like there's a war on TikTok that's like, I hate straight white men. You should all die. You're all a disease. And then all of a sudden you have people that are like, I'm the victim. And I don't know that any of these people necessarily engaged in that war. I mean, they may have. I really don't know. But, like, we're not seeing the full context here. Because here's what I would say was happening. These content creators are probably not engaging in that war. Chris is definitely not engaging in that war. What you have is their fans below them, weaponizing whatever message they have or whatever, their followers. They're engaging in this war, and they're looking at the content other people make, and they're like, let me use this as weapons. The fan base on TikTok is the toxic people. It's not, excuse me, it's not the creators per se. And we're not talking about that either, man.
On TikTok.
Madeline is transgender, and Seth, who doesn't believe in labels, is usually seen wearing gender non...
Who doesn't believe in labels? Like, what's this? What does it matter? Okay, whatever. It's just like weird. It's like, I don't want people to think I'm a gender.
Unconforming clothes.
Those are not unconforming clothes. Those are generally like female labeled clothes, which is fine. Like, he's fine with wearing whatever he wants. I have no issue with that. It's just like the wordage is like very like eggshelly. It's like, bro, he's wearing like feminine clothing. Like, that's chill. I think he's a guy. I'm pretty sure he identifies as a male, and he's wearing like feminine clothing. Like, good for him, man. Like, that's fine. I think that's empowering. I think that skirting around the message that a male is wearing feminine clothing, that like does it. Like, this guy could be like hey, listen, I'm a guy who wears feminine clothing, and like it's okay. I can do whatever I want. If you had proposed that message, then it would be like, oh, this guy's standing up for himself, and he's standing up for femininity, and he's standing up against toxic masculinity. But instead, he took the position of, I don't believe in labels. So like he tried to be unique instead of being like, you could have been like you could have been an activist. You could have been like this could have been your shot at being like, I'm a man who wears feminine clothing and I'm comfortable with that, and like it's time to end toxic masculinity. You missed your opportunity on that one.
Can just be really harmful, especially growing up as a kid when you finally just found a way to express yourself.
I mean, it is a little gay. This blank not the move. I'm sorry. Dang, I must be on weird TikTok. It's a little weird. America is going fast. It looks like they edited it. It looks like they... So, like, they edited this. And the reason I say that is because the dates are so far off, so they either edited it or went all the way to the bottom where there's 0 likes on any of it. So, like, people aren't even supporting this message. And then these guys get videos with hundreds of thousands of likes and views. And it's like, look, this is cherry-picking the negativity.
Kind of be beaten down completely.
Come on, guys. You're promoting like a very disingenuous like narrative here.
TikTok has since shut down at least 3 of Chris's accounts.
Like 7 of his accounts.
But at just 17, he says he meant no harm. Distancing himself from his followers' words and asking them to stop the attacks.
Yeah, and again, he's asked his followers to stop the attacks before this even happened, man.
In no way did I intend on being homophobic nor transphobic in the content I made, nor am I transphobic or homophobic. I did not target LGBT, and I want people to understand that I cannot control my followers and what they do.
Madeline.
That's true, and he never called to any harm for the LGBT community. Again, he was in his comments rather actively. You know, and again, I've said it before, like, he should have made, like, a video saying that. But, like, his whole meme is, like, not speaking, and he was just committing to the meme, and I don't think him or anyone else realized how toxic this movement to cancel him was going to be. And again, I say toxic because it wasn't meant to educate him, to get him to stop. It was specifically meant to cancel him, because every one of his... If they took his main account away, whatever. But they've been, like... TikTok didn't do it. Like, it's mass reporting, because they IP ban people who shouldn't be on the app, that they feel shouldn't be on the app. They're not IP banning him. He's staying up for, like, some accounts, like, hours, some accounts, days, and then they're getting removed once people find them.
Lynn and Seth are choosing to focus on the healthy communities they've built within the app.
Healthy communities within the app. Is there a healthy community in this app? You know whose community is like the healthiest? Probably like Charlie D'Amelio's. And the only reason I say that is because they're literally all just trying to like dance their way to like free money. And like that's actually actually no, that's not even healthy. There's not a single healthy group on this app. Because even that, like the idea, because that's what this app is. It's clout chasing until like they get so popular that like they can stop. They don't have to work ever. That's like Charlie's. That's what Charlie's fan. And like I'm not gonna blame her for that. But that's like that's what social media is.
It sounds really cheesy and kind of stupid, but really just focus on the positive comments.
People need to.
Yeah, that's not cheesy. That's that's what you should have been doing from the start. To these people's credit, like these are the individuals, like they're being genuine. Like I disagree with some of what their way that they're interpreting the way that they feel about the situation. But like none of the people they featured on here are like toxic individuals. They're all just vibing. So like I don't harbor any ill will towards them, and like as I listen, I'm trying to understand the perspective better. And honestly, like I'm starting to understand it better because I have full context. But you guys need to understand that like this was pushed by Rob, number one, and he was such a bad person about it that it hurt his own cause. Honestly.
See people living their lives and being who they are for it to be normalized. So
dude, you really got to learn to get like more comfortable in front of the camera. If I was in front of there, I'd be like, bam.
I'm happy that I'm able to make that impact at least.
In a statement, TikTok telling the New York Times in part, "We are committed to promoting a safe and positive app environment for our users."
Do we really think they give a shit about that? Do you guys really think that TikTok is like, yeah, we're committed to promoting a safe and positive app environment for our users? They don't care. You know what it should say? We are committed to making money and continuously existing, and hopefully Donald Trump doesn't ban us. That's what the message is really supposed to be saying. And because of all the negative attention, they decided to constantly push Chris off. It's just like, if you really look past like everything, this is like a stupid game that everyone's playing to like it's just so stupid. It's just so dishonest and like disingenuous. It's garbage. God, man. I'm getting old because like, I hate every time I see messages like this now. It's such bullshit, man.
And that they offer a number of features to help
users control their online experience, including options to report inappropriate content, limit and filter comments and block. Okay,
users
I don't know why I
control
just
their
read that.
online
They're going to read it.
experience, including options to report inappropriate content, limit and filter comments, and block users.
Chris confirms to us he's now back online with a new profile, a new username on TikTok, and in a matter of hours, hundreds of thousands of his followers had already found him. In his latest video, he asked his fans to stay positive.
Why didn't you just show that video?
With
Oh, well, maybe you
Hopefully
should.
they will. Well, at least some of them. Kaylee Hartung for us, thank you. We are joined now by tech expert and GMA.
Oh, is this going on? Is this more? Tech expert.
Contributor Stephanie Humphrey. Stephanie, thanks so much for joining us. It's a fascinating debate here because obviously harassment is nothing new on social media. We see it across multiple platforms.
Yeah, that just shows like people, not incels, not one side, not the people are scumbags, man, and they're looking to just beat people down.
TikTok appears to have
this tech expert, guys. Where's your tech then, Miss Expert? Where's your VR headset? You should be on here with a VR headset. It's like, oh, I am the tech expert. Look at me. Look, this is how you should look. This is how you should look as a tech expert. You should be like this. How are you? Yeah, I am the tech expert. Look at me. I'm actually in the room. I'm touching you right now. Very cool. That would have been a real tech expert. That would have been the tech expert I'm looking for. That's what I want.
some specific features that are contributing to this, right?
Yeah, it's that dude.
Why is your mic so garbage? You're a tech expert. Your mic sucks. My mic's not great, but it's better than yours. A $30 headset. It's like tech expert.
Duet feature, first of all, good morning. The duet feature allows you to respond directly to someone else's content, and now
So does the Stitch feature, which they finally re-implemented.
there is a new feature called Stitch.
No. It's not a new feature, ma'am. They brought back the Stitch. By the way, where's my mention? I feel like I'm like the king of the Stitches. I took Stitches and I decided to just that was my whole platform.
Which also allows you to add your own video to the end of someone else's video content. So
No, you can pick any 5 seconds. This tech expert sucks.
those two features are a bit unique on the TikTok platform, and they sort of allow for a different kind of harassment.
Oh, stop. They allow... The wordage is so gross. There's not even context. Duets and stitches exist for people to have fun. And there's some people on the platform who use them for more commentary type styles, like what I do. And of course there are people who use it to bully. But this idea is that like the wordage that she's using is like it's so heavy. It's like, yeah, TikTok, we use it to harass people. How about you teach your kid to not be a dick? Honestly. And like use the platform correctly.
So what can TikTok users do to try to stop or at least limit some of this harassment that we're seeing?
You can block people. You block them.
Well, you can disable those two features specifically.
There we go. We solved the problem, guys. Let me get a what would we say? Like a pog. Let me get a pog in the chat, guy. We figured it out.
So if you head to your TikTok profile,
she doesn't even have a TikTok. What does she have? Like either a draft or one post. She's not a tech expert.
right
She's
up
a
in the upper right
nerd.
corner, those three dots will take you to your settings. Head into privacy, and once you scroll down, you'll see Duet and Stitch. You can enable them or disable them, and I would highly recommend you disable those two features.
I wouldn't. The whole app is supposed to be a social app. I recommend making your content, and then if something happens, to properly contextualize your feelings and thoughts without being emotional about it, so that everybody can have the message conveyed to them in a way that's sensible and easy to consume. That's what I recommend. And basically, AKA, be an adult about the app. You have a bunch of adults sitting on Good Morning America right now lecturing children on the most like completely shallow, ridiculously ignorant perspectives they ever could, and saying this is how you should do it. You should live in your own echo chamber. No, people need to listen to each other more. People need to listen to each other more, and both on all sides. Like there's the worst of every community, and there more and more people get pushed towards those worst as they get angry. Or rather, more and more people get pushed to those polarized ends as they get more and more angry at each other because they're not listening to each other.
Great tip. Stephanie, thank you so much. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Where am I? Where was I on there? Grandma? I said that because it says GMA. Get it? It's a funny joke. Collect them for an interview. Oh my goodness. Well, that was something. After that, like that definitely was like a little rough for Chris. I think it's rather gross that they decided to. At least they picked good representatives of like the LGBT community on TikTok for that, because like all those content creators are like solid. They're decent. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Notice how there's like Chris has like hundreds of videos, and like there's like 5 of them that are like that can be construed as like anti-LGBT, and they didn't. They just didn't contextualize. They didn't say like, oh, most of Chris's platform is like reacting to tofu videos or something. It's like, oh, Chris is a homophobe. I don't know. It just sits uncomfortably with me. I thought this was gonna be over, but like we're just continuing to go, and like I wonder how much longer this is gonna drag on. Because like I don't know, man. I hadn't expected it to be like this eventful. You know? Yeah. So, you know, I don't know, man. Overall, like, it seems like Chris is being canceled for a mistake at best. That's what your argument would be, is like a mistake at worst, really. And like we don't care. We don't give a shit at all. We promote Sky Jackson in our videos while we destroy another person who is not Sky Jackson, a young girl who's intentionally ruining people's lives, versus Chris, who is accidentally upsetting people. Which one's worse, guys? Ah, it's Chris. It's ridiculous, guys. It's ridiculous. I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.